So by now, I'm sure you probably know about an NBA player named Steph Curry, and you especially know who he is if you watch this channel. But he is almost unanimously known as the greatest shooter of all time. He's a 3-time champion, 2-time MVP, with one of those being unanimous. He's a 6-time All-Star, 6-time All-NBA, and is consistently in the conversation for being a top player in the league. But back before he was drafted, we really had no idea whether he would be able to perform at the NBA level. A lot of people thought he was either too small or too short to be as effective in the NBA, and people even said that he relied on his outside shot too much. But we can clearly see that those thoughts about him got put away a long time ago. And so now we see the finished product, but how did this all even start? When did this all start? How did this kid seemingly just come out of nowhere and start lighting everybody up? Well, today, we're going to be talking about Steph Curry's college career at Davidson, and we're going to be talking about the run that put the entire world on notice. But before we begin, if you're new here, I'm Double D. I'm a huge basketball fan, and I make NBA videos here on YouTube. So if you're also an NBA fan, or just a basketball fan in general, feel free to hit the sub button, and click the bell to be notified when I upload more videos just like this one. Also, according to YouTube analytics, around 89% of you guys that watch my videos are still not subscribed, and so I would really appreciate that. Alright, let's get into the video. So you probably know Steph Curry for consistently being at the top of the league, and usually on the best team, but of course, it wasn't always like this. Believe it or not, there was actually a time where he was struggling to get college offers, mainly due to him being undersized. He did eventually accept an offer from Davidson College, who had been attempting to recruit him since he was a sophomore in high school. And so Steph Curry came into his freshman year of college with high hopes from Davidson coach Bob McKillop, who said, "Wait till you see Steph Curry, he's something special." And he would go out and prove it, as just in his second game, he finished with 32 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. But overall, he would actually end up finishing as the second highest scoring freshman in the country at 21.5 points a game, behind only Kevin Durant, who averaged almost 26 points. But also in just his freshman year, he led Davidson to a 29-5 record, and of course, he broke the single season record for threes made by a freshman with 122. And from there, they eventually made their way into the NCAA tournament and played Maryland, but they would lose despite 30 points from Steph Curry. And so he would finish that season averaging 21.5 points, 4.6 rebounds, 2.8 assists, and 1.8 steals. But in his sophomore season, we would see him start to show glimpses of the player that he would soon become. His freshman year, he was around 6'1", but his sophomore year, he would grow to his current height of 6'3". Davidson would end up having a tough stretch of games against some of the best schools in the country. They would play against UNC, UCLA, Duke, and North Carolina State. And even though Davidson struggled to win those games, Curry was still putting up great numbers, averaging 22 points in those 4 games. And he would again lead his conference in scoring at 25.5 points a game, which helped lead Davidson to a 26-6 record. And on March 21st, 2008, Davidson faced off against Gonzaga, who was the 7th seed. And this would be the biggest game of Steph Curry's career up until that point. Davidson was the 10th seed, and so people were waiting to see if he was actually the real deal, and if the things people were saying about him were actually true. And then
5 on the board before Davidson takes his first shot. Here is Curry. And he hits.
Setting some solid screens.
Baseline shot drop.
As well as individual players that have guarded him.
Curry. It's a little space. Takes advantage and knocks it down from the...
Curry's still in the ball game. Richard sits, Jim, with the 2 fouls. He only had 48 fouls all year long. Look at that.
Wow, is that more in Raleigh?
Ray back on Curry. Curry a little bit cut back on his own.
At 18 points for Gray, ties a career high. Curry's got another one.
And Lovedale on Day. Moving left hand. As the Dan Munson and Mark Few have for Gonzaga.
Curry with the steal. Taken on Bolden and one.
He moves the ball. He moves his head. He moves his eyes. Tough to defend.
Curry right back with a 3. Down Richards. Too strong. Lovedale.
Sander got a piece of it, and there's room.
Curry again.
Trying to get Curry some space.
He steps right past the defenders and soft as can be.
Back between Richard and Curry that time. Curry just didn't get enough space.
We're a Curry 3 away from tying it. Here it is. We're all tied in Raleigh.
Muffin.
Well, he showed it right there. Pass inside Curry, yes. Richards and Curry. What a kicks it corner.
Line drive.
They had to beat the shot clock. Gosselin and Lovedale keeps it for him. Curry!
Are you kidding me? Curry'd like to get fouled here.
Oh, nice defenders.
Beautiful crossover dribble.
In the arms of Curry. America had heard about him, and now we know about him. A star on the NCAA tournament stage. Stephen Curry leads Davidson into the second round.
Steph Curry led Davidson past Gonzaga with 40 points, 30 of those coming in the second half. Oh, and he hit 8 threes as well. And this was without a doubt the biggest thing that showed people that he was more than just Del Curry's son. Because up until that point, that was really how he was known. That's obviously kind of the opposite now. Del Curry is now known as Steph's dad. But that's where it started. But it didn't stop there, because after they took care of Gonzaga in the first round, they would match up against Georgetown, who were the second seed at the time, and they were obviously the favorite to win. They ended up losing to Davidson by 4 points, and this was after holding Steph Curry to just 5 points at halftime and jumping out to a 17-point lead earlier in the game. Steph Curry scored 25 points in the second half and led the comeback, and they would win the game 74-70. But it doesn't stop there either. Davidson would then go on to face Wisconsin on March 28th, and they were the third seed at the time. Curry would face Michael Flowers, who was thought to be one of the best college defenders at the time. And so, this happened.
Started the season from the three-point, 22 red. Curry, first good look, and it's Paulus Gosselin. Curry deep, rises, and it's 26-23. Curry, it's got all the tricks. Now look at that offensive rebound by Paulus Gosselin. Curry fires and knocks one. Crafty with the ball. Great vision. Curry off the window. Landry with 6. Curry lets it go again. And he's got Curry on the wing. He's going to spot up. There he goes. Oh, he lets it fly again. Rips it. Curry, 4 to shoot. He's got a fire and does. Here comes Richards. Finds a cutting Curry. Oh, my goodness! Young fella! Curry, 15-footer. Got it. 73-56 over Wisconsin. And they are heading to the Final 8.
With LeBron James watching on the sideline, Steph Curry again went off for 33 points and led Davidson into the Elite 8, which was the first time Davidson had gotten this far since 1969. But this is where it does end, as Davidson would end up losing to Kansas by just 2 points, and Kansas would eventually go on to win the championship. But Curry still gave them a fight by putting up 25 points. But it didn't really matter, because now almost everyone knew who he was. He would finish the season averaging 25.9 points, 4.6 rebounds, 2.9 assists, and 2 steals. And it is worth noting that he also shot 44% from 3, and tied the record for most threes made in a season with 158. And so that's really when he started to get attention from both the media and scouts, as he hadn't really made a name for himself yet due to Davidson being a small school, and him still somewhat being in his dad's shadow. But that Elite 8 run is where a lot of people will now point to and say that was the start of it all. And now, here we are, 12 years, 3 rings, 2 MVPs, 6 All-Star selections, 6 All-NBA selections, a scoring title, and a steals title later. And yet, most people still think he has a lot more to accomplish in his NBA career. And it's just human nature to look at the present and the future, but it's always important to take a look back and remind yourself of how it all started. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell to be notified when I upload, comment down below what you want to see next, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.